I'm just so excited because this is my 50th class reunion that myself and the committee, we've been working for like a year to get ready for, and we set it up today. So I thought I'd do just a little bit video clip to show you some of the stuff. And right, this is at my old high school lunchroom. So you'll just kind of have to overlook some of the kid tables because they just kind of had to be folded up and put to the side. But they were nice enough to let us use this because 50 years ago, this is the place where I came to eat lunch, okay? We've got our name tag area set up here. They're gonna come in that door and the entrance is gonna be all decorated real pretty. And we got name tags ready for everybody. And I'm gonna walk over this way and show you the rest of it. It's way over yonder, that's our food bar. The caterer will come in and handle all that for us. Okay, and then we have a couple of students that's really sick and couldn't be here tonight. So we are putting out their addresses and how to write and send cards to them for these two right here. It's very dear to our hearts. So we want to remember, if you're doing a class reunion, remember those that would be here, but they can't. Okay, they really can't. They're sick. And so we made an area to remember those. We've had some 10-year reunion, 20-year, and that's just how crazy we are. We had a 37. We couldn't wait to 40. And this is just some pictures from those reunions that we had. This is probably the biggest one we've had for as decorations and digging up memorabilia. We've got all 12 of our annuals here for like all the grades. We've got every classroom picture, 1st through 12th, lined up with annual to match it if anybody wants to mull through that. We got some old cheerleader outfits. I wore this at one time. I know you think, oh, I don't believe it, but anyway, and then a school sweater. We're telling everybody just bring memorabilia. Look at this. I think I showed you this board in one of my cooking videos because I was working on it at home, but this is just a mishmash of the class of 73. Oh, there was 33 in my class. I know that don't sound too big to all of y'all, but we've had 11 to pass away, and we're going to honor them, a special time of memorial for them. But this has everybody that was in our class on it in one way or another, because I wanted to make sure it wasn't just all about the sports, it was about everybody, because we had a great FFA group, FFJ, Beta Club, so many things in our class. We wanted everything represented. So anyway, this is just a mishmash of the pictures. I hope that everybody comes is going to enjoy. We've had about 6 planning meetings at my house. Us girls, say 6 of us on the committee. We had the best time together. And bringing this together, today we all met here, and some more from the class came and helped us pull it together. And like I said, all these little stand-up pickies is all the way through the 12th grade. Oh, this looks funny, I know, because one of my girlfriends forgot to bring her sweater today. She's bringing it tomorrow. I took camera tripods and made some, because they're light, and they got this foot on them, see them? And I'm doing that, and that's how these things are hanging. I don't know if you noticed, but every one of these is hanging on a camera tripod. And when her sweater comes, it's going to just hang right there. And just pass it on down. Look here. This is our original group picture for the 1973 graduating class. And the students don't know it yet. It's coming. We have borrowed enough caps and gowns to over there. See them? We are going to remake our senior graduating picture tomorrow night. I hope we get everybody to participate in our senior play. Our director of our junior senior play is coming, and we pulled out our old junior senior playbooks. And this is a raven because he was known for, do you know the name of that poem that he kept quoting to us? He would walk
The Raven.
Excuse me, the Raven poem. He would walk around the class and say it to us with this on his shoulder, and we want to surprise him with that. And then here is a football jersey, and we got a part of the original football goal here. We're finishing out with all of our annuals, and then right here, oh, this is precious to me. Ricky Williams, which was, oh man, like a straight A student in our class. He passed away, I think, in 2013, but his wife let me borrow his FFA jacket because he was the president. And oh gosh, he was so smart, and we loved Ricky so much, and I could just stop and talk about this all day, how much I thought of him. And here is the candles will be lit tomorrow night. Maybe we'll get a snip of it with it all lit up, but they had 11 to pass away. This is our memory table, and if you're having a class reunion, for sure, you want to remember all of those that's passed on. I mean, these are some dear, dear friends of mine. I could tell you a story about every one of these. We're a close class. And we've also got a slideshow when it comes time for the memorial that we're going to do on each one of these on the projection screen. But isn't it pretty in here? You want to see our decorations? We've put together a box because, you know, we want to take up donations here for the school. So we're going to remember they were so good to let us meet here. And we're going to take up donations for that. And then we just took little pictures out of the annual and we just kind of mishmashed them all down the table. And oh, look at this. This is nothing but a pint jar. And I just took the little class picture out of the annual, stuck it in my copy machine at home, and stuck it down in here. It's just paper. And then that's going to be, see, you want all kind of conversation starters at your class reunion. Here, if you're looking, our colors were maroon and gold. So we have a gold placemat with a maroon napkin and a maroon napkin with a gold placemat. And that's our program. Anyway, see how we just, same little thing. It's what you call trying to do a class reunion that don't cost an arm and a leg. And we just got these pictures just willy-nilly all down there. Doesn't mean that's where everybody's sitting. It's just some of our diplomas. And we just brought them, the ones that had their diploma from years ago, and we'll just use them as part of the decorations. If you look through your house, you can find all kinds of things that you've got, top tassels or whatever you call it. And we just got the food area just over here. The caterer will come in and she'll handle all that. And I'll walk this way. I was just going to show that again. See how that just pulls out and I laid it in the copy machine? Then I just round, that come out of the annual. I didn't cut my annual up, I threw it in the copy machine, made some little hickeys, stuck it in the pint jar. Our colors are maroon and gold, so the sunflower has what I call maroon and gold in it, so that's why we're using that. And this is the table. We've got our group picture up here on the podium. That, I don't know if your school, but our school used to put a big one in the hall. They let us have that one. And then this is reserved for our teachers that are coming. I'm so proud to have them. And then we are putting together, I told you we're going to put on our caps and gowns. I don't know it. We're going to remake our picture, our group picture, like it was hopefully in '73. Then we're going to have what you call a fun picture prop area. I'll go right over here. And just anybody, do whatever they want to. Grab a prop. It says, don't it? Grab a prop and strike a pose. So look at here. Here's me. And then they can just pick one. Oh boy, I think we dated. I got to hunt somebody there. Preacher's coming. I better not take that in Hedda. Y'all know Preacher was my high school sweetheart. 2 years ahead of me in school. But anyway, we got all kind of little fun signs to pick up. I'm hoping that everybody just has a big time. That's what we're hoping for. So pretty. When you just consider this was just a busy lunchroom, and we're going to clean up Saturday night when it's over, because it's going to be a busy lunchroom for summer school Monday morning. But everything has fell together. I'm tickled to death with all of our decorations and just everything. I have to give the Lord the glory, you know I do, because He just helps us so much. Oh yeah, one more thing. With the silly pictures, this was just a frame that I got at the junk store. Put these things on it. They'll put on their silly stuff and they'll strike a pose. Anyway, I just thought I'd walk y'all through before everybody gets here tomorrow and just let you know that you can have a class reunion. It's worth it. It really is worth it. Just have you some meetings with your friends and get it all planned out and sign out jobs, and it'll all come together. I am so thankful. I do need to lose 50 pounds for tomorrow night, but we'll see how that turns out. But I'm going to have the best time ever. I cannot wait to get here. Well, this is a couple of days after the wonderful class reunion, and I'm here at home, and oh my goodness, I'm still trying to put up memorabilia and all the things that we carried to the school. And I thought, been thinking of things that we did that might help somebody, and I thought, well, while it's on my mind, I'll just sit down here at the table and tell you a few things that we did that might help you if you're planning the class reunion. First, you're going to have to get you a really good committee, okay? It's one person, be hard for them to do it alone. But I had 5 more girls, me making 6, and we worked together very closely. And we started meeting probably a year ago, working on it. We had it in June, and I think we toured some restaurants to decide where it was going to be. So we started a year ago. But anyway, the first time that we met, you got to settle your, any event you're going to have, who, what, why, when, all that stuff. So we just had us a little blank document, and who's on the committee, the place, date, time, and location. You got to get some of the big frogs settled first. And then, is it going to be a catered meal, covered dish, in a restaurant where they serve it? You got to decide that. You got to decide that early. And then we talked about that. And then we went to, what are we going to do about invitations? And then you got to start the big job of trying to find these people. 50 years has passed, and you think that you've got addresses and numbers, and really, they've changed a lot. So we really started digging, and I'm like a dog after a bone. If I'm hunting your address, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find you. So anyway, started getting together all the addresses of our class, and that's a biggie. You got to have a good contact list, or you can't invite nobody to your party, no matter what it is. So we did that, and talk about your invitations. And some people do 100% on social media, and we did a lot of texting and a lot of Facebook and stuff like that. But we also decided to do what we call the formal invitation letter. And you got to think about what that's going to cost you. I'm lucky here. We got a home office, and we did all the printing here. And you got to count for all that. But talk about your invitations, and then decorations. Oh man, I love decorations. And we was trying to do it on a budget, so we had to talk about that. And are you having name tags, or are you not? And it's really good to have them, because the spouses of the classmates sure don't know anybody, and then the classmates enjoy it too, because we've all changed in all these number of years. And then talk about your fun ideas, because you want to bring some spice into it. I may say something about that here a little bit later, but you saw a lot of it on our video. And then honor the memorial of those who's passed on. We did that and put it as a top priority. And we also honored the ones that was really, really sick, like in the hospital, or maybe the facilities that they're having to live in and couldn't come because they're so sick. We honored them. And then we just started just from scratch that day, and just started working and meeting about, every month, a few weeks, and just assign jobs really good, and come back and have another meeting. Of course, us girls, we always had a lunch, and we met and eat and then plan, and it was a really fun time, the whole process. But anyway, you got to start somewhere. So get your venue, get your date and time, and get the word out to your classmates. We did save the date, June the 10th, 2023, and we let them know that last year, because people's planning their vacations and they're busy. And if it's a priority to them, they're going to put it on their calendar and do their best to be there. And so I'm big on having an agenda, I guess, or a guide to go by. And so that's what we did. And then we just started having our follow-up meetings and building on it until we got everything planned out. Some things that I thought of today was, goodness gracious, you got to have a budget. Even us, we try to do it, on a dime, but at the same time, it does take money, especially when you decide to do the mail outs. Postage is 63 cents one way, and we put a self-addressed stamped envelope in there for them to return the response back to us. So that's a double. So it was $1.26 every time we mailed an invitation out. So you got to allow for that, because when you multiply it by the number in your class and the teachers, it does add up. And then in the budget too, decide, to me, it's good manners to pay for your teacher's meal that night. We're honoring them, and so thankful they came. And it's our way of saying thank you for all they've done for us all these years. So add that into your budget, and when you're trying to decide how much it's going to cost. And then if it's in a restaurant, or are they ordering off the menu, you still got to figure out the tip and all that. We decided to have a caterer, and we came up with a list of several caterers, and we decided on one. Then we went and met with her in person and sat down and nailed it all down. But anyway, all of that's got to be figured in your budget, and you're going to have some last minute expenses. I don't care how close you try to figure it, things are going to pop up that you got to handle. Okay, and then something I thought of today, I didn't tell you in the little video we did at the school. Didn't it look good? I'm still just beaming over it. We actually, everybody needs to know where the bathrooms are. And so we were in the lunchroom. They had one bathroom, and we made a big sign on the door that it was a men/women's bathroom. But it was kind of tricky how you got back there to it. So, look at Bigfoot here. We put down footprints from the beginning all the way back to the bathroom so everybody could find it, and it worked out really good. It's the attention to detail, to me, that'll make your guests feel welcome and not just running around, oh, I'm too embarrassed to ask. You know, she announced at the beginning where the bathroom was, but I forgot. So that made it really easy to get everything marked. And when we talk about marking things, your entrance has got to be well marked too, because the students hadn't been to the school. We chose the school. We wanted to go back to our school. We hadn't been back in a long time, but many hadn't been in 50 years. So we made sure the entrance was clearly marked with a big sign, and then the pathway following up to the door of the lunchroom. In our case, we had it in the school lunchroom. It worked out really, really good. Be sure to mark the entrance too. If your caterer is coming in the back door, they may not have been there before. Mark it really clear for the people coming and the people helping you out too. That was a big help. You saw this. We showed it to you at the reunion. It was on. It was on this big thing. Look here, what preacher made me. This is just a 6-foot ladder, old one we had, and he painted black and run this piece of wood across it with a ledge, because that thing's heavy, and made me my own sturdy easel to display my pictures on. That's so heavy I can't pick it up because I'm gonna have to dismantle this board. I do hate to. I'm going to look at it for a while, but we used magnets. I don't know if I told you that at the school, did I? To secure the pictures. Most of them just went in the copying machine, but I wanted you to see my board. One day, we got a wood heater, and behind it, we got a heat protector. And I did something, and I realized, hey, this thing's magnetic. So this is like a, I don't know, 3-foot, 4-foot board, and we just got magnets. See, we didn't have to double stick tape these pictures on here and tear up some of the real pictures. Most of them's just copies. We just got magnets to Dollar Tree and stuck them on here. That worked out really good, and it didn't cost us anything but just the price of a few magnets. So that worked out really good. And you know, I know we could have put a slideshow with all those pictures on there, but if you could have been at the reunion, you'd have saw people standing in front of it, pointing and talking, and it was just it was really, really a conversation piece. Okay, and when we first started, and I told you, we made the decision, it's gonna be at the school. We went and toured the lunchroom, measured the lunchroom. I saw where we wanted our focal wall to be, and I don't know if this will pick up, or maybe we can insert a picture, but draw it off. Had my back focal wall, knew kind of what I wanted my decorations to be, the tables to go, and walked it off, measured it off, and saw where all the memorabilia was going to run down the wall with the big picture board, and just draw it off. That helps me anytime I'm having a party or something here at home or anywhere, is to just draw you a map of it, and it really does help. Okay, and then we talked about just don't do a program. You know, people just going to throw it away, you're wasting paper. And then it hit me. Well, you know, we know what's going to happen at the reunion. I mean, I knew what was going to plot next. I knew we was going to surprise them with a lot of fun things. They don't know. Well, if they're sitting there at the table thinking, oh, how long is this part going to last? Wonder what they're going to do next. We decided to do just a one-page little simple agenda or program just so they could see what was coming up next. And also know what time we was going to eat, because sometimes you think, well, are they ever going to eat around here? All they're doing is talking. So we decided that, you know, the committee was in the know. We knew what was happening, and it was just as fair for us to make sure that our guests knew what was happening. So that's why we decided to do a simple program. Now, I did a simple program for everybody coming, and I did a little bit of a more detailed for the committee, because the ones that were going to the podium to talk, then they had a little reminders like, oh, you're the one supposed to tell everybody where the bathroom is. You're the one supposed to thank all these people that brought things on the side. You know, little cheap things was listed on their agenda, so it was a little bit thicker or a little bit longer, but that worked out really, really good. Oh, let's see what else I thought of today. I'm gonna get all this put away, and it's gonna all be history, but I will never ever forget about the memories that we made. So it's worth the effort if you want to do a reunion for your class. I'm sentimental, but I found out all my classmates are too. We sang, oh, I can't say it, the Alma Mater. Whew, that's the best I ever said it. So I also put it down at the bottom of the program so that we could have a time of singing. And everybody joined in and singing. It was just so special. We ended the night by singing our Alma Mater together. So put that on, save you some paper if you'll just put that on your program. And shall never be broken. It shall never die. For surpassing wealth unspoken, still my friendship's tide. Forward ever be our watchword, conquer and prevail. Hail to thee, spring garden, high school, maroon and gold, all hail. Sorry for starting so low. High school life is swiftly passing, soon its days are done. While we live, we'll ever cherish friendships here begun. Forward ever be our watchword, conquer and prevail. Hail to thee, spring garden, high school, maroon and gold, all hail. Maroon and gold, all hail. We also had lots of music. Like, I guess that would go under the fun category. One of the guys brought a playlist of 70s music. And oh man, that was really, really good. And then, well, I don't know, you saw all the fun things we did, the fun picture props, the picture frame and us in it and holding those little funny signs. But we kept it a big, big secret, all these fun things, because we wanted it to surprise them. But what's really surprised them was we borrowed all those caps and gowns. Now that's a handful to keep up with, I'll guarantee you, and get them back to those people too. But it was worth it because we reenacted, you saw that, our group picture of graduation night. And we got to throw our caps and just reenact, and it was a big, big fun time. But also under the category of music, see, play that Pomp and Circumstance, and it just added to the ambiance or whatever of all of us, marching up there to get our group picture made when that was playing. So just think about what you can do to just make it even more sentimental. Oh my goodness, they enjoyed the school tour. Now it was on our program too. And of course, we were fortunate that one on the committee, she graduated there, went to college, came right back and taught there until she retired. So she had big connections, knew that school frontwards and backwards. So she took us on a tour. And then you're going to have some see that, well, we've been gone 50 years and we're having all of our health issues. So we had some that wasn't able to go on the tour. So we made sure a few of us stayed behind, and we made it optional if you wanted to go on the tour, and they enjoyed it. But if I'm looking back, I'll tell you something that'll help you that I wished we had done was have a wheelchair there. Maybe have 2 wheelchairs there, depending on the size of your class. Because we did have some that, if they were on a walker or something, it would have been hard for them to walk up and down that hall, and I'd give anything if we'd had a wheelchair available if anybody wanted it. I'm all about the element of surprise, and also just making it as fun as possible. So I will tell you something I did. It was a little bit of work getting a hold of everybody on the side. Each person, I wrote them individually a text. And I told them, I said, we called it Calling All Classmates, and I was in charge of that on the program. What I said was, I want y'all to come up to the front or stand where you're at and tell me about your life, what's been going on, your family, your kids, your grandkids, your jobs, just anything, what the school meant to you. And I said, I want you to end with a poem that I sent you. Because, I'd say 5 weeks ago, I sent each one of them a one-liner poem. Well, let me give you an example. Here's one I sent to one of my girlfriends named Janice. And I said, Janice, I want you at the end, whatever you say about your family, your career, the school, whatever, at the end, I want you to take this line and make a rhyme out of it. Years at Spring Garden passed by so fast. And then I put in parentheses, rhyme it with fast. Well, she got up there and just done a dandy job of just another one-liner. And then I teased her a little bit. You know, some of the little funnies would come to me like, oh, Janice, I just knew you were going to say, years at Spring Garden went by so fast. When you married old Ralph, who knew it would last? Because, see, they grew up in school together. And, of course, everybody just wah-wah'd and laughed. And a lot of the students, they made theirs up, and they were so funny. We had one guy, I mailed hymns, and he's a big hunter and all that stuff. And anyway, I said, how about you saying skipping school and coming in late? And I just stopped it right there. Finish it out now. Well, he got up, and he was so good, and he told about his family and all that, and then he said, I got to end it with the one-liner Joan sent me, and he said, skipping school and coming in late. With an 8-point buck, I had me a date. You know, and everybody just had a fit. Everybody done such an outstanding job. Nobody didn't do their homework. Back in the days of 73, if we didn't do our homework, they don't do it now, but you got a paddling. And I reached down under the podium. I had a paddle that long that our principal, he'd walk up the halls with a paddle. You know, that's frowned on nowadays, but I had one just for fun, you know, if they didn't do their homework. But everybody did their homework, and we laughed about it. It was fun. We did some mine was roses or gold. Our colors are maroon and gold. Roses or gold, violets or maroon. And I finished it out with, I'm so glad to be here with you Looney Tunes. You know, just something fun. Because whatever I said about my family, some people would say, you know, I had cancer. I'm just coming out of a bout with great sickness. And it kind of was a sad note, but it was so true what was going on in their life. But then they'd turn around, they'd end it with a little bit of a poem or finishing out that one-liner poem that I sent them. So anything that you can do, see, when you got a group together, sometimes when you're sitting by somebody who was friends in school, you hadn't seen them in so long, you need some little icebreakers to kind of get you going, to get the momentum going, I guess. And it turned out really good, and we really enjoyed it. But every time you meet, I would have whatever we had accomplished. I would give them a new agenda that had what we've got accomplished, and it would be blank, the things that we hadn't accomplished. And slowly by slowly, every time we met, it come together. And the way it come together, we met the day before. It took us all day to decorate, and we thank preacher, thank my daughter. And it's good now. Here's another one. For pictures, we didn't have a professional photographer. You know, nowadays people want some on digital and put in the social media. But my daughter volunteered to come take all the pictures, because see, we was posing with those silly hats and those things, and we done our march of our robes, caps and gowns, so much stuff. She captured all of that, and then the next day she dumped them or put them in a little messenger group that we had for the class of 73. And then that way everybody could just download and save to their cell phones whatever they wanted. And that's how we did it. And she did that as just to help us out, and it didn't cost all the students anything. So that was really good. And you might think about doing that. Something that new that I thought of that I wished we'd have done, and I'll give this tip to you. I wish we'd have took time to video each person, maybe stand them alone up against the wall and just ask them to video the little talk they gave to us about their life and their little poem. Because the ones that didn't come, when we put all those pictures into the group, we could have put those little snippets of videos about their life into the group. But you know, you work yourself to death, you're still going to miss something. But we had a grand time, and oh goodness, you could nitpick it to death later, but I did think that I'd have liked to have done that. So that might be something that might help you, and you might want to do it. Because everybody didn't just lay out on you. Some of them lived so far away they couldn't come, but they still wanted to know what went on. So just calm down about it, enjoy the process, and I don't know, 50 years flew by so very fast. I can't believe it myself, because I told them, I said, why is it at a class reunion you feel younger on the inside than everybody else looks on the outside? Because we just change so fast, but on the inside you still feel like you're that cheerleader, you know, or ball player or whatever. But I know I've talked too long. My daughter probably cut out most of what I said, but I did think, I'm still reeling from Saturday night. Make sure you mark everything. I am fixing to put these up, but you know, I just had little cheap stands that food got marked, We took pictures from, 10-year, 20-year, 30-year reunions and reserved for teachers. Everything clearly marked, because when people walk in the door, they're a little bit like, oh, what's going on? But it don't take them for a minute if you got it well organized to join in and get with the party. And party we did for my 50th class reunion. I'm still reeling over it, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get over it. Oh, yeah, and when I sent in them little one-liner poems, think of the word that you want them to rhyme with now. Like, well, how does that rhyme with? Because how off color can they get you? Know what they say? Because one of them I put, 1973 was a very good year. And I said, okay, now you rhyme that with year. And it was like, okay, Joan. And then it was like, 1973 was a very good year. We all sat around and we drank beer. See what I mean? Think about what you want to rhyme with when you send it to this people, because you open up Pandora's box. But we had a big, big time. Now, I'm going to let you know that this is At Home with Miss Joan. I'm going to try to come down and get back in that kitchen, because Preacher's redoing the cabinets. I'm going to get in there and start cooking when he ever gets through. But I have enjoyed this, and I hope this helps somebody to plan your reunion. You give me some of your reunion tips, because I tell you what, we'll probably have another one. I don't know if it'll be this grand, but At Home with Miss Joan is so thankful for all of y'all, and if you would subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Like my videos or comment to me, and I've met so many good friends. I tell you, I'm loving meeting all of y'all right here at Home with Miss Joan.